Hello, my fellow humans. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you're new here, thanks so much for joining us. We do things differently here on this channel, so there might be triggering statements that do arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, while keeping in mind that triggers can be a beautiful blueprint to deepen our healing journey. If the message happens to resonate with you, it'd mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. If you are, I want to tell you that your time, your presence, and your energy are a true blessing and a gift, and I'm deeply honored to be sharing it with you here today. So, we aren't doing what your haters are saying about you right now. It's weird, but I was sitting outside and just enjoying the nature that I'm surrounded by in complete silence, just listening to the birds and the breeze that was blowing. And this reading hit me like a Mack truck coming in that it needed to be done. So I guess there's something that somebody needs to hear somewhere. But usually, I mean, these are definitely requested readings, but this one just came in very, very quickly. And so we're going to tap in, but I was getting a message right off the bat that someone is saying that the reason that you're able to do what it is that you do is because you have health problems or because there's something wrong with your health, and no one's going to say otherwise. I know that's super specific, but that's what came in right away. But before we get into that, we're going to look into that in the collective energy, and then we'll definitely break that apart through each pile. Let's go ahead and hop to our prayer first and see if we can get this going for you. Definitely an energy shift coming onto this reading. I was kind of just zenned out and ready. I was ready to go for sure. But yeah, definitely an energy shift. I feel like there's someone here who needs intuition confirmation. And I also feel like there's someone here who just has been really feeling low and down because they're surrounded by a lot of haters right now. So we're going to see what we can do to help get you some clarity, okay? All right, my beloved source, this prayer is for any and all who come onto this reading, whether it's for a moment's time or for the entire time. Today, I ask that you help surround us with your blue light of truth. Help protect us and see clearly that which is veiled. Reveal to us what it is that people are doing to us. May it be clear. May it be seen, may it be heard, may it be understood. And may we know in our heart of hearts. That way we can use our discernment to help distance ourselves from the people who do not want to see us succeed. We need not be cruel. We need not be unkind. But we can be firm. And we can allow ourselves to feel empowered in doing so. And so today I ask that you help us have this strength. That you help us lean into that self-empowerment, that you help us lean into firm, solid boundaries, knowing that it is okay if someone's continuing to try to push those boundaries, that we can walk away and not carry the guilt of that. We've been making it clear how we feel. We've been making it clear what does and does not work for us. We've been making it clear that we need our space. And beyond that, if people are not respecting us, then give us the courage to know that it's okay to choose ourselves. Sometimes we struggle with this because society has painted it out that we always need to look out for everybody but ourselves. We've done that. We have not prospered through that. And now we're learning how to prosper through self-love, self-respect, self-care, self-understanding. Today, I ask that you help highlight that which needs to be seen for those that need to make a decision in this here, now, here moment. And may you walk beside them as they are making these decisions, no matter how easily or difficult they may seem. May you please help carry them along their journey. As these words are spoken onto this reading and upon this tribe today, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Ase. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you. Okay. Right. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get your cards out. We're going to be using the Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck today by Lily Ashwell. I felt really called to using this deck. If you've been with me for any amount of time, you know this is one of my favorite decks. I use it on nearly every reading. So what are your haters saying about you right now? What are your haters saying about you right now? Okay, thank you. What are your haters saying about you right now? What are your haters saying about you right now? All right, pile one. What are your haters saying about you right now? Source, what astrology oracle card will help us better understand this message for pile one? Thank you. All right, pile number two. What are your haters saying about you right now? Source, what astrology oracle card is going to help us better understand this message for pile number two? Okay, thank you. All right, what are your haters saying about you right now? Pile number three. Source, what astrology oracle card will help us better understand this message today for pile number three? There's a lot of confusion around you, pile three. Yeah, it feels like... Oh, yeah, for pile three, it feels like people are trying to act as though they've been supporting you. So there's something big that's happening around you, and it's like confusing because are they my haters? Are they not my haters? Because I felt like they were haters at some point, but now it feels like they're trying to support me, and now it feels like they're trying to run to the front of the line like, oh, hey, you know, I've been supporting you since day one, and that's not true. They were watching you since day one, and they had some pretty cruel things to say about you, and now they just want to be a part of the glow up, and they want to ride on your coattails, okay? So that's a direct message for pile three. All right, so on the bottom of the deck, we do have Aquarius energy with originality, philanthropy, and progressive imaginings. So what are your haters saying about you right now? If you didn't catch the intro, I was saying I got a channeled message where it's talking about how there's some people that are saying right now that it's because you were experiencing health issues or there's something going on physically that you were unable to go to work, or maybe you got really sick, or something with your health. There's something with your health that was going on. So maybe you had a severe injury that you were recovering from. And they're saying that the reason why nobody is questioning what you're doing, or the reason why nobody's trying to push you to do something other than what you're doing, is because of your health issues or because of what's going on with your health. It's like saying that you got basically a free pass because of what was happening with your body, what was happening with your mind, what was happening with your emotions, with your spirit, whatever it was. They're saying that that's basically a free pass. And now that we've got Aquarius energy coming out here, a lot of your haters are saying that, yes, you are individual. Yes, you are unique. Yes, you do stand out, but it's annoying as I'll get out because we all are trying to blend in. And why can't you just be like the crowd? Why can't you just blend in? Why can't you be like us? And I feel like for many of you, the collective, you've tried that road, and that road made you absolutely miserable. And it was a quick line to saying, like, it's time for me to be authentic to myself. And that's really what this journey is all about. It's about finding our authentic voice. It's about finding our authentic walk. But people who have spent their entire lives trying to fit in, they do not understand that. And it's hard for them to understand that because all they see is that is going against the grain, and that's creating more turbulence for them. And that's why I feel like there's a lot of people who have brushed against you, have tried to make you feel bad, who have tried to attack you, who have tried to say things, you know, to make you feel like you don't belong, or they've tried to, like, determine the outcome of your journey. And look, one thing I'll say to the collective, people are going to be peopling, like, no matter where you go. And, you know, whenever I get wild comments, I'm just going to say this, wild comments on the channel, I actually stop deleting them. And the reason I stopped deleting them is because I still approach them no matter what. I I still approach them from who I am, that compassionate place. And the reason I leave it there is just as a reminder that people are going to be people, like everywhere you go. Whether you're online or whether you're in physical form, there's trolls all around us. Like, there are manipulative people all around us. There are people who feel like their opinion is the only opinion that matters and that they can control other people. And the best thing that we can do is to still smile and to still come at them from a place of integrity with ourselves. And I'm not saying that this means to become a doormat and to be kind, but something that I've told plenty of people when they have lashed out at me for whatever triggers come up for them, right? I'm not the one that triggered you. I'm not the one that made you watch, right? Like, these are things that I could say very easily. I could argue the point, you know, like, well, you're the one that wasted your time. You're the one that showed up. Why are you blaming me, right? This is an eye for an eye. So rather than saying all of that, I just say thanks. Thank you for letting me know that we don't resonate. And I wish you the best of luck finding the people that you do resonate with. And the reason being is because you're coming from a place of integrity. And that place of integrity oftentimes stops people dead in their tracks. And that's why with this Aquarius energy, it's to stop doing things the way that everybody's always done them. An eye for an eye. And I have no idea why this is coming up. Maybe someone on here watches Raw, like you watch wrestling. I personally grew up watching it. I don't watch it now because I realize I don't like it. And that's cool. Like, I just don't like it. If you like it, that's cool. It's a very popular show. It's on Netflix, I believe, now. I have family that watches it, and I go and do my own thing because I just don't, it's kind of like sports. I grew up watching football, and I realized I don't like sports. And so now I don't watch sports. Like, it's cool because I thought I liked them when I was younger, and then as I got older, I realized this is just something I don't like. It's just something that we did. And so why this is coming up is because if you've watched wrestling, it's a big show. Like, everything, it's a big show. They put on this huge show, and they're always attacking each other. They're always attacking each other. And it's always who can yell the loudest, and who can have the best comeback, and who can make someone stutter, and who can make someone do this. But all that does is perpetuate the system. That's all it does. Nobody wins. Nobody's better than the other person. Nobody's being the bigger person. And I know it's just a show, but that's the example that they're showing me right now. And so this could be someone that's coming at you that maybe you have had an eye for an eye with this person, or tooth for a tooth, or cheek for a cheek, whatever it is, right? There's been a lot of back and forth here with these individuals, or maybe people who did this to you gave you fuel to lash out yourself. Like, why are people being wild? Why are people being crazy? Why are people saying this? And what Source is really saying here is to stand in your honesty and your truth. But standing in your honesty and your truth is not giving us, who are on the spiritual journey, fuel or bullets, I should say, to attack others with, right? Like, they're not word bullets to attack others with. It's to come from still that place of love and compassion so that we don't regret what we've said later. And that's really powerful here, because whoever these people are, it's like they want you to feel bad. They want it to get through you, or to you through the grapevine. And they want to have a sense of control over you. And they want you to stop being authentic. And they want you to go back to that old version of yourself. But they are acknowledging that you're different. I mean, you're winning. You're winning because they're acknowledging that you're different. They're acknowledging that you're standing out. And they don't like it. And that's not your business. That's their business. Let them be all mad about that, because you're giving them segue for them to choose that for themselves. And if they're not choosing that for themselves, then there's nobody that can heal them but themselves, right? So it says Aquarians are free-spirited folk who live in a progressive world of ideas. They march to the rhythm of their own drum and have an innate quirkiness about them. With a humanitarian spirit, they are aware of the strengths, weaknesses, joys, and sorrows of the collective. Transmuting their social perceptions into utopian ideas, their imaginings are filled with radical forward-thinking beliefs of how to heal mankind. These are groundbreaking inventors, impassioned activists, and everyday seekers, all working to push humanity forward. Modern astrology links Aquarius to revolutionary Uranus, as both energies hold a torch for inner truth, equality, and freedom. However, prior to Uranus's discovery, hard-edged Saturn was the original planetary ruler, and while Saturn may feel like a stale partner for this bohemian force, it speaks to the discipline. Aquarius upholds around idealistic beliefs. It can even become aloof, dogmatic, and authoritarian if it over identifies with a movement. And that's that energy that was coming through. It's like using what people say to you as fuel to speak to a greater collective, but still using that anger. And sometimes even still, we're not realizing we're opening our mouths and inserting our foot. And that can be a challenge, right? That can be a challenge, but this is what they're saying. It's like to honor that unique side of yourself and to remember that when people attack you, it's not you, it's them. And let that be their burden. Don't take it on as your burden, right? It says you are the holder of a beautiful gift, meaning you have the potential to be of great service to your community or humanity at large. More than a skill or talent, there is a special quality you bring to the world. It's effortless and innately yours. You may be a deeply compassionate listener or a radical advocate against social injustice. Whatever it is, when you're in the embodiment of your gift, you'll feel lit up because you're in alignment with your spirit, and by stepping into your authenticity, you help raise the collective. There is a perfect place for everybody. Yeah, and so your haters are saying right now that it's annoying because you're also inspiring others to step away from the daily grind. And so this foundation that they've built themselves on is falling apart and they don't like it. In fact, if you haven't caught the last reading I did is the tea you need, you may find additional messages there. That's only for those of you that feel called to seeing that reading, and that's the reading I posted right before this one. But yeah, there's a similar message in one of the readings that came out, or you could even be here from one of those readings. So, yeah, they are noticing that you're standing out. Yeah, that you, look, that slid out of the bottom of the deck. That you are truly the expression of yourself. And they can't deny that it suits you, but they're doing everything in their power to convince people that, you know, you're the problem. You're the reason why they're not doing so good. You're the reason why they're failing in their own life. You're the reason why they can't stand out. So it's like they're trying to put it on your shoulders. And I feel like this is people who have done that your whole life, or people who've been around you consistently who have done this. And it's not really sticking anymore, right? It's just not sticking anymore. So it's not, I just want to point out, it's not going to surprise me if the collective message really resonates with pile one, just because you did get Uranus, the planet. So that's just something that's coming through as a synchronicity right away. All right, make sure we're in frame. We've got pile one for you. You've got the Uranus dice here. Or you have this beautiful piece of green aventurine. Pile two, we have the North Node dice for you. Or we have this beautiful piece of clear quartz. Pile three, we have this dice with Venus. Or we have this beautiful piece of blue apatite for you to choose from. So pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3, and whichever pile you feel called to, that should be the one for you, and I will see you over there. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with Uranus, or perhaps you felt called to this piece of green aventurine, or maybe you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be your reading on what your haters are saying about you right now. We are all here sharing this human experience together. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. If you're new here, thanks so much for joining us. I do things differently here, so with that being said, there might be triggering statements that arise on the readings themselves. There is no obligation to force it to fit, while keeping in mind that triggers can be a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journey. Should the message happen to resonate with you, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And know that your time, your energy, and your presence are a true gift and a blessing, and I'm honored to be here sharing it with you today. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out what your haters are saying about you right now. What your haters are saying about you right now, pile number 1. Source, what would you like to bring through for them? What your haters are saying about you right now. Yeah, okay, 10th house. We've got Jupiter and Sagittarius. So really quickly, pile 1, you may resonate with the collective message that I did at the beginning, which is timestamped down below in the description box. If you feel called to it, there's no obligation to watch it. But if you do feel called to watching that, there may be additional messages there for you. What your haters are saying about you right now. I mean, they're having a hard time saying some negative things about you because you are showing success. You're showing abundance. You're showing growth. Something may have recently happened where you got more money, or you got a raise, or you got a promotion, or you moved up. Like if you're building your own business, you moved up in your business. If you're inventing something, your invention got noticed and now there's a patent for it, or something along those lines, or you took a step in the right direction. You've been really disciplined on your journey, and your haters they're telling people about it. They're telling people like, oh, you know, like pile 1, they're super disciplined. Like they're just lucky though. That's what they're saying. Like, you're just lucky. Like everything that you touch, it turns into gold, and it's unfair because they feel like there's no way they could ever catch up with you. And they feel like you're always going to be light years ahead of them. And the truth is that you will be, because you're so disciplined. And they're struggling with discipline, right? They're struggling to be consistent in their life. And they may start something, but they don't continue. They don't continue with it. They start it, then it's like, oh, life happens, and then they feel like they get too busy and they never make time for that. And they're saying that you are someone that has a lot of luck and abundance in your life. And they're also saying that you've grown. They're saying you're different. You're not the same person they once knew. So while the dice aren't pointing out anything terrible, because it's not truly terrible, they're just saying like you're different. You are not the person you once were. Like they've watched you grown. So whereas maybe they felt like they had a say before, like now they're feeling like, whoa, you know, like pile 1 stuck with it, and they really are growing. They really are becoming something different, and they're being honest with themselves and their journey and their path. And it feels like they're always experiencing adventures, and it feels like they're getting to travel, and they're getting to see different parts of the world, or experience different cultures, or seeing different people and connecting with different people. And it seems like they just have an abundance of wealth. And so they're saying that you have money that nobody knows about. They're saying that you have opportunities that nobody gets. So it's not really a bad thing. It's just, you know, like there's jealousy here for sure. And there's upset. And you know what? Good for you, pile 1. If you've got all these opportunities and not being lucky or anything like that, I feel like the truth is that it comes from hard work, and it comes from you showing up to do the thing that no one wants to do. All right, we're going to use the Tarot Marseille today and dig a little deeper. What are your haters saying about you right now? What are your haters saying about you right now? They're saying that you've got everyone fooled, that you're scheming people, or you're lying to people, or you're manipulating people, or that you are refusing to tell people the truth. That's the thing. And also, I just want to point out, as we watch these readings, we're looking into how your haters are observing you and what they're saying about you. So remember that whatever it is that comes out is not the truth of who you are, right? So it's hard to hear these readings sometimes and not take it personally. But remembering that when people are in this energy, it's them projecting how they're feeling internally. Okay, so yeah. What are your haters saying about you right now? Okay, thank you. What are your haters saying about you right now? Pile 1. Well, okay, so you're going to get 4 cards. I wasn't going to do 4 cards, but alas, here they are. Bottom of the deck. Yeah, we have the Lovers. Let's flip this over. Get the whole picture. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So what they're saying, like, it's kind of a split 50-50 energy here, you know, like, yeah, you're still the kind, compassionate person that you were, that you are somebody that is trying to make a different life for yourself, but they're also saying that it's unfair. Like, it's unfair that you're given these opportunities, right? Especially with Justice in the reverse here. It's just showing it's like you're being given opportunities that they feel like they are entitled to, or they feel like they deserve. Like, they feel like you haven't experienced life in the way that they have. And that's what they're telling people, like, they're so lucky. They don't know what it is to have a hard life. They don't know what it is to go through struggle. They don't know what it is to experience, you know, trauma or grief. And I feel like that's the thing. It's like none of these people know what it is that you've been through. You could have your sun in Aquarius. You could have your sun in Libra or in Gemini. You could have Gemini in the 6th house with Jupiter placements. You could have a lot of Jupiter placements in your chart. You could have Sagittarius rising, Sagittarius Venus, and Sagittarius North Node, which would give you a Gemini South Node. These are placements that are coming in. Aquarius in the 8th house, or Cancer Moon and Cancer in the 8th house. Okay. So what your haters are saying about you right now is that they feel like it's unfair because you have somehow swindled the people that you're contacting, or the people that you're connecting with, that you're networking with. Like, you've convinced them that you know what it is that you're talking about, but they feel like you don't. They feel like you're just blowing a whole bunch of hot air. And they feel like you are somehow showing people this lie and convincing them that it's the truth. And people are believing you. Without any questions, people are believing you. That you are immature, and right now you may be depending on others. They're saying that that's also unfair because, you know, you depending on someone else, that you're really cold to them and you're not telling them the truth about where you are. That's not fair either. And I feel like this could be the person that you're depending on as well, that's saying this about you. Like, they feel like they're the hero in the situation and they feel like you're being really cold to them. But I feel like the only reason that you would be cold to them, Pile 1, is probably because they're incredibly cruel or they are manipulative. So this could also be a father figure in your life that's saying this. They're saying that you're too difficult to deal with. Like, you are too overwhelming. You have too much to say, or they don't know how to talk to you. They don't know how to converse with you or communicate to you. I feel like this is unfair, though, because I feel like this person actually doesn't know how to communicate clearly, and they expect people to just understand where they're coming from. And I feel like that's what you've been having to deal with, and you've been having to sidestep and navigate that type of situation. And so this person or these people are watching you gain success. They're watching you gain clout. They're watching you gain recognition. And they want to know all the nitty gritty details. But this is somebody I feel like you've cut out of your life, and you won't give them the nitty gritty details because they don't deserve them. They made it clear that whenever they get details from you, like, they use that as a weapon against you. And that's not fair. There's definitely like a lot of pettiness between you and this person. I'm not saying that you're actually in the pettiness. Like, I just feel like they have a lot of petty energy towards you, and you are doing your best to show up from a very emotionally grounded place. But when you get blasted with people who are petty constantly, like, it's hard. Sometimes it gets really hard. So if you've lost your temper, I just feel like you need to hear this. If you've lost your temper, if you've lashed back out at them, please forgive yourself, pile one, because this person is just, I mean, it feels like they're just hammering on you constantly. Okay, it feels like, and they might not be telling you what they're saying to other people, but this person definitely lashes out. They are very childish and immature, and I do feel like you definitely get, when they come home or when you're dealing with them or when you have to see them, like, you're their dumping bag. Like, you're the garbage truck that they dump all their garbage into. Like, that's what they treat you like. And so that's hard. That's really hard. They're trying to control you too. And I feel like they're telling people like, oh, I just don't understand what's going on with pile number one. They used to really respect me. They used to listen to my opinions. They used to like want to do what I wanted them to do because they loved me so much, or, you know, like they cared about me, or I was a part of their life like that. And now they just treat me like I don't matter. I feel like the thing is that you've had to flip the script and give them back that type of energy that they were giving to you. This feels like, again, I'm getting that father energy here. It could be a mother. This also could be you getting stuck between a mother and a spouse. So like a mother-in-law and your spouse. And there's a weird dynamic going on there. I know that's a really, really specific, but that's the energy that I'm feeling right now. Yeah. And it's like you've had to disengage from these past situations, right? And now it's like trying to continue to disengage when this energy comes up in your life. But they are saying that like you're not making any visible progress, and so they feel like they're being taken advantage of, and they're trying to tell everybody that they can who will listen. Basically anybody that will listen, they're trying to say like, you know, I just don't understand it. I don't understand why Pile 1 won't get it together. I've been so nice to them. I saved them. I created a safe space for them. I gave them a roof over their head. I feed them. I take care of their kids. You know, I help when there's things that need to be helped with. I help clean the house, or, you know, I help babysit, or whatever it is, whatever the situation is. It's like this person is trying to paint themselves as a hero. And they're trying to tell everybody that you're the bad guy here because you just treat them like crap. But that's the thing. It's like when you didn't treat them like crap, they were still telling people these same things about you. So it doesn't matter. There's no winning with this person. There's no winning with these people. But these are, I feel like, people that you know that have had a problem with you, or that have definitely tried to get in between you. And yeah, you and your money, you and your family, you and your home, they have tried to dictate what it is that you do in order to find peace and bliss and happiness in your life. Like every time you're happy, this person is absolutely miserable. Every time you're sad, this person seems to be over the moon ecstatic. Or these people, again, this is multiple people. There's a lot of people here. We have siblings energy, we have mother energy, we have father energy, we have you know, in-laws energy, we have spouse energy, we have overbearing mother, overbearing parent, overbearing caretaker. This could be foster parents too. Yeah. This could also be people you work with that have felt like they belong in your life in this way. This is definitely overstepping boundaries here, for sure. Yeah, they feel like they're telling here's the thing. They're saying that you're hiding all your valuable assets and that you're not helping them when all they've done is gone out of their way to help you. Like, how could you do this to me, pile number one? I went out of my way to help you, and now you're letting me suffer, and I can't stand it, and I'm too proud to ask, right? And that's what they probably tell people. I'm too proud to ask pile number one for help, but I feel like them asking you for help is expectation. They just expect you to know what they need. And that's the other thing. I feel like if this is a money exchange situation, you could be covering all of your assets. You could be covering everything that you need to cover, that you said you're going to cover. So like your bills, your rent, whatever this is, your insurance, all of those things. And this person is still acting like they're the ones that are taking care of you. Yeah, they're like this, like helicopter energy, helicopter parent, helicopter energy, like just trying to hover around you, trying to figure out what move you're going to take, where you're going to go, how you're going to do this, what you're going to do over here. Feeling like you have resources that they deserve to have a peek at, or that they deserve to have access to. What are your haters saying about you right now? We've got the Emperor Penguin coming out. Small steps lead to profound metamorphosis. So there's also this energy where it's like your small steps are too small. They're not making progress. At least progress that they can see. Peasant. Adapt to place and circumstances to discover happiness and contentment. Like, here's the thing. I feel like Source is just reminding you, like, you're in this process of adapting to the situation. Right? You're still trying to find your peace. You're still trying to find your zen when it comes to this person or these people, like trying to find your balance. Like, they've definitely done a number on you energetically, spiritually, emotionally. Judge flipped out. Yeah. Balancing justice and compassion. Managing the fair distribution of power. And we have the shadows, offering only destructive criticism, misusing business, legal, and criminal authority. So with justice and the judge coming out, right? That's the thing. It's like they feel like you've been given opportunities that they wanted, and then they're also sitting there judging you because they feel like you have so much more to give them than what you're giving them, and they don't like that. So there's this belief that you're just basically creating struggle in their life, and they feel like you owe it to them because of whatever they've helped you with. They're holding something over your head. Dilettante. Delights in the arts without having to be a professional. Alert you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. And the shadows, pretension to much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. Yeah. So this is that confirmation where it's like they're saying that you're lying to everybody, that what you're doing isn't actually real. So the example here would be, you know, maybe you're a really good artist, right? Because she's painting here. Maybe you're a really good artist and you're selling your paints and you're doing it on Etsy or whatever. You have little shows that you go to and you're actually doing really good and you're excited because you're getting known and you're getting recognized for the artist that you are. And they're basically looking at that saying, oh, well, they're just trace drawings. They're not actually drawing those. Like, they're just spending time tracing other people's pictures and then painting them the way that they want to paint them. And they're just lying to people. Okay, so, or if you're a psychic or something along those lines, you do tarot readings or something. The example would be is that you're falsifying information for people and people are buying it. Like, people are believing you. And that's the thing is, like, here's the thing. I don't feel like they have ever actually come to see what it is that you do in the physical because they don't care that much. They just care about how they can make themselves appear to others. Okay. What are your haters saying about you? On the bottom, we have acceptance. I'm learning to accept the things that cannot change. Yeah, and I feel like you are coming into a place of acceptance when it comes to this person or these people. Like, realizing there's nothing you can do to change them. There's nothing you can do to bring even, I feel like, balance to the situation. You just have to balance yourself. And that can be really challenging. Because it's like, we we just want to be seen, right? We want to be accepted for who we are. And when you have people who are close to you like this, who are really just trying to make you feel bad, or like, the other energy that's coming in here is that this could be actually your parents, and they're judging you of who it is that you love, or who it is that you have invited into your life. So maybe it's somebody of a different culture, somebody of a different background, somebody from a different country or something like that. And there's a lot of really cruel and unkind comments that have been made, and you've had to make boundaries here. And they've lost access to seeing more of the family because of that. That's a really specific message coming in. But that's something that's also coming in. Bring love into the situation. So see, and that's the thing. I feel like you're just trying to show them, like, it's okay for us to love. Like, it's okay for us to be in a loving place. Aquarius energy is coming out like wild. So you may very well resonate with the the collective message that happened at the beginning, because there was a Aquarius energy that came through there. But I just feel like that's the other thing too, is like you're trying to be vulnerable in this situation. You're trying to be as open as you can, but there are just certain things you don't discuss with other people because it's none of their gosh darn business. And excuse me, but I'm just gonna say it, okay? But it's not their business, whether that's money, whether that's what you have in savings, whether that's what you're able to take care of, or how you're able to get tickets to go and travel. Like, none of that is their business. And I feel like these are people who want to make it their business because they feel entitled to knowing. Okay, these two. On the bottom of the deck, we have comply. Yeah, this is somebody or a group of people who want to control you. They want to control the outcome. They want to control what you do with your time. They want to control how you show up. Rules, laws, unwritten rules. They just expect you to know how they're feeling and what it is that they want you to do. And maybe you did at some point, but you're not doing that anymore. And that's really irritating them. And you know what? Let it irritate them. Let it rub them raw. Let it chafe the hell out of them, and let it give them a rash. Because at the end of the day, you deserve to chase what you want to go after, pile one. And that's your business and your business alone. Samaritan, yeah. Refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. And that's the thing. I feel like they're on that list right now. You would definitely wish that you didn't have to deal with them in this way. But I mean, there's something here that's tying you to them, right? And that's what it feels like. The Shadow's exacting appreciation and recognition for the help that you offer. So we do see both of these attributes in this reading. You know, I do feel like you're helping them. You're definitely being that person that's being the bigger person in this. And they're sitting there trying to be the hero in this situation. They want to be seen as the savior. They want to be seen as the one who came rushing in. And they're trying to convince everybody that you're the problem here. And really, at the end of the day, they've gotten everything that they need. And I feel like if people saw what went on behind closed doors, they'd be absolutely appalled at what this person's been saying, if it hasn't already been made clear to many people. Yeah, death. I'm learning that endings are merely a beginning. So that's the thing. Like, there's definitely transformation that's about to happen. I feel like for you, pile one, the transformation is leaving this situation behind, or leaving this type of energy behind, because you're maintaining your integrity. And that is showing to source that you're ready to handle better, more aligned situations. And even still, like I said, like if there's been a time when where you've lashed back out at this person, just understand to give yourself grace for those moments, because anybody that's being attacked in this way, I mean, most people would not just stand around and take it, right? Like, most people would just be like, you think you can come at me hard? Guess what? I'm going to come at you 10 times harder. And how many of us have thought that, right? Oh, you think you can say it like that? Well, guess what? I'm going to say it so it cuts you at the knees, right? We've all been in that. And that's just, so give yourself grace for those moments, and then just keep trying to come from that place of love and light that's in alignment with you, not with this person, but with you. Yeah, look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius. That's the thing. They're not seeing the bigger picture. There's something that this person or these people are experiencing right now in this moment that is really upsetting their lives. And because you have been their emotional punching bag for so long, they're just, I mean, double time right now. There's a lot that's going on. So this could be unexpected expenses. This could be grief. This could be a loss of something. This could be dealing with somebody that they didn't want to deal with. There's a lot that's going on within this person's life, and they're using that as a reason to really just pour onto you. And it's almost as if, like, if I can control pile number one, then I will feel better about myself, and I will, you know, I won't have to deal with what I'm dealing with right now, and I'll have some sense of accomplishment. But the thing is that they're not seeing the bigger picture. The bigger picture is that your desire has already been shot into the universe, and the universe is working to meet you halfway. And so just when this person feels like they're winning, I keep saying this person because it feels like one really crazy energy. But again, it could be multiple people who are doing this, right? It just feels like one person, but it's a very similar energy across the board. They're very irritated because you are getting opportunities they feel like they deserve. And honestly, they haven't done anything to deserve those opportunities. But the thing is here is that when this energy believes that it's won over you, that it's controlling you now, and that, you know, you are the one that you've given up or whatever it is, because there's going to be some sort of dynamic change here. And that's when things are going to start working for you in your highest good, like where you're going to get a promotion, you're going to be able to leave, you're going to be able to walk away and never look back again. And they're going to be left hanging. Chat, yeah, exchange information, disclose information, and inquire. So they want you to disclose that information. I feel like they're always trying to fish for it as well, to try to get you to talk about it. They're really good at fishing. Secrets, codes, treasure, bribes, disguise. Yeah, so they're telling everybody that you're keeping secrets from them, like you're not telling them the truth, and they're just really trying to paint you as a bad person. You know, I do feel like there are a lot of people who are listening to this person when they talk about it, like, oh, well, pile one's not sharing their money, you know, with me. They're not sharing how much money they're making. Like, there's very few circumstances that people are also agreeing with this person. I feel like there's a lot of people here who are like, but they may have respect for this person, or this person has standing in the community, and so they're not really saying too much to this person. It's just like when they start complaining about you, there's a lot of people here who are like, here we go again. Here we go again. Oh, this same story again. Okay. Because it sounds like a broken record. That's what it feels like. So let's take a look at your card. We're going to read this from the book. Yeah, Mars, move forward and defend self. Hello. So what are they saying about you? You're difficult. You're difficult. You're aggressive. You're abrasive. You're mean. You're cruel. Things that you never were before. Like, you're being completely off-centered right now. Like, you should just go back to being that kind, loving person that you know. What they want is for you to go back to being a doormat. That's what they want. And you're not. You found your power. And good for you for finding your power. Because that takes a lot of courage and strength. But they don't see it that way. Like, they are like, oh, no. They need to go back. They need to be what I want them to be. Where are you at, Mars? I know the planets are... There we go. I guess I just kept scrolling past it here. All right. It says, governing the realm of personal survival and drive. Yeah, so this is somebody you've been dealing with. Like, it's what it really feels like here. Mars is the most primitive of the planets. The hot-headed force has an eye on the prize disposition. Its energy affects your determination and how you get things done. It's also linked to war and battle and how you soldier through your life towards your goals. In mythology, the energy of Mars is embodied by Eris. Lover to Venus is Aphrodite. Eris is rowdy god and only tamed through dancing, battle, and sex. Similarly, the expression of Mars varies greatly from person to person, but it must be released. The means of release is less important, but the expression itself is vital. If Mars is blocked, aggression turns inward, causing depression and self-destruction. Ideally, the desires of Venus are explored through the will of Mars, as the two work together in perfect synergy. The energetics are determination, will, courage, personal survival. The energetics are how you actualize your desires and how you get what you want. Self-defense. Yeah, so defending yourself has been a huge thing here. Harness your inner soldier and accomplish something today. Chip away at a small nagging item on your to-do list. Begin a longer project. Perhaps you've been swimming with ideas and inspiration and not knowing where to begin. Streamline your attention and take one assertive step toward your dream reality. This energy may also come as a sign to slow down and reevaluate what it is you're working towards. Have you been soldiering on, unclear of what it is you're fighting for? With tunnel vision, your goal may be a mirage after all. What are your true desires? You have divine support in bringing them to life, but the power is yours to begin. So yeah, they're saying that you're being very aggressive, that you're the one that's fighting them, you're the one that's causing problems for them, you're the one that's creating all this dissonance, but they're the ones that are actually doing that. It's like whatever and however it is that they're treating you like, that's what they're telling everybody right now about you. And their biggest concern is that you're keeping secret from them something that they feel like they could benefit from. And keep your secrets, pile one. Mystery's a good thing. Whether people agree with that or not, I'm telling you, mystery's a good thing. Keep your secrets, right? Now, obviously not if they hurt people or anything like that, you know, but I feel like this has to do with money. I feel like this has to do with monetary, with your position and things like that. And that is absolutely yours to hold close to your chest. Not everybody is privy to that information for a reason, right? So this is what I see here for you today. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little shh emoji, the one that's shushing. Leave the little shushing emoji down below and say, today I defend myself by keeping what's important to me close to my chest, knowing that mystery is a good thing, and I continue to walk in my own mystery. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you will find everything you need in the description box. I'd like to take a moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this message today. And until next time, pile number 1, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice of the North Node, or perhaps you felt called to this beautiful piece of clear crystal quartz, or maybe you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be your reading on what your haters are saying about you right now. We're all here sharing this human experience together. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you are new here, thanks so much for joining. I do things differently here on this channel, so there might be triggering statements that do arise on the readings themselves. There is no obligation to force it to fit, while keeping in mind that triggers are a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journey. If the message happens to resonate with you, it'd mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And please know that your time, your energy, and your presence are a true gift and a blessing, and I'm deeply honored to be here sharing it with you today. So with that being said, we're going to hop to it. I did get a channel message for you, pile number 2, and that is your haters are actually gossiping about how you help everybody but them. They feel left out. They feel like you don't care about what's going on with them. And I feel like this could be people who have known you before. It doesn't have to be. It could just be people who feel like they're entitled to your time, your energy, and your love and compassion because they just feel entitled to it. Not like they actually earned it or anything, but that could be what's coming through as well. So just keeping that in mind as we're moving forward, because we are tapping into this type of a reading, whatever it is that comes forward, it's a reminder that it's from their perspective, and it is in no way, shape, or form the truth of who you are. So keeping that in mind as we move forward. Okay, so what are your haters saying about you now, pile 2? What are your haters saying about you right now? Yeah, the 3rd house, Uranus energy in Virgo, that you're a perfectionist and they don't understand how it is that you've made progress. Because your perfectionism used to be a means of becoming catatonic on your journey. Like you were unable to, what is that, catatosis, I guess? Yeah, it would create catatosis in your life and you wouldn't move. Like you would always just freeze up. And they are saying that now you're able to perfect whatever it is that you're doing, and that you've made such sudden change because of that. And that even though you still act humble, they're gossiping about how you are somebody different behind closed doors than who you are out and about. I feel like you don't change. I feel like you're the same person behind closed doors that you are out and about. Like, I just feel like you're just doing your best to live a peaceful life without worries. Excuse me. Oh, yeah. And they're saying that you maybe stole somebody's ideas, or that you are trying to be like someone else, and that it's not really authentic to you, and that's because of your perfectionism. It's like, why create something of your own when you can copy someone else? But I feel like the biggest thing that really irritates your haters is that you do not go out of your way to convince them, or to argue with them, or to try to show them that you're worthy of love. And that might have been something that you did in your past. And whether or not they received that, they do feel like you're a target for that, for them to, bait you into an argument, or for them to bait you into a situation where you're trying to defend yourself and you're not. And so they're watching you be kind and compassionate with so many people, and they wonder why they're getting the stiff end of the stick, or the short end of the stick. I've never said that before, the stiff end of the stick. Okay. But the short end of the stick, like, they're just wondering what the heck is going on. Like, why is that? And so this could be people that you grew up with. This could also be individuals that you've gone to school with. This could be siblings as well coming in. Could be Gemini, Virgo, Aquarius energy. You could have Gemini in the 3rd house, Aquarius in the 2nd house is coming through. You could have Uranus in the 10th house, in Libra is coming. Okay. Yeah. And coming in. Yeah. So, and all of a sudden it's interesting. I was fine before I started this reading. And I actually talked about how I was just sitting outside and enjoying the beautiful nature that's here, because the trees are beautiful and green right now. And spring is in full effect where I'm at, for sure. But all of a sudden on your reading, pile 2, I'm like super exhausted. I feel like you're very tired. I feel like you need to get some rest, and not just sleep rest. I feel like you need to take a break from people for a little while. Not necessarily isolation, but maybe going into a state of solitude and finding some meditation, or finding, a way to recharge your batteries. You're definitely running on empty. You are running around trying to get things accomplished, especially if you're like an inventor, or, even a scientist or something like that. Oftentimes I can appreciate how your brain doesn't shut down. Like, it feels nearly impossible because your brain is always on the go, and like the minute that you kind of relax, all of a sudden that's when you get some of your best ideas and you're off and at it again. But maybe it's just saying, like, when those ideas come in, have a notebook nearby and write it down in the notebook, but go back to that state of Zen, like go back to that state of peace. And whatever, you don't have to be a scientist or an inventor. You could be anybody, anywhere, and still have trouble with your mind shutting off. And this is just a direct message from source too. Keep something where you can write down those ideas, but still take some time to yourself, because it does feel like you're running on empty. You just got so tired doing your reading. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of peer pressure here on your reading. Pile 2. A lot of peer pressure. Okay. On the bottom, we have the 9 of Swords. Yeah, so they're definitely saying, like, you're stuck in your head, or like you're just completely oblivious to the people around you, right? You're not working hard on the things that matter, and that you are emotionally unavailable, and that you're also manipulative. And so it's like they're saying, it's like, I don't understand how they're able to help people and be so kind to people outside, when at home, I feel like they're super toxic and manipulative. And, this is something I've talked about before. It's like, we kind of need to start drawing away from calling everybody toxic, because the truth is as humans, we all carry toxic traits. Like, we all carry narcissistic traits. We all carry very low vibrational traits. It's just very human of us. But as a society, we've gotten used to just labeling everybody that goes against us, or that feels like, we can't control, or whatever the situation may be. We're calling them toxic. We're calling them narcissists. We're labeling everybody and everything as just awful for us. And that's creating this dynamic where we cannot build a community, which community is very important, especially with Uranus energy coming out here. I do feel like you have a community around you, but your haters are saying right now, like, you don't work on building strong bonds to people. Like, you are very airheaded and flighty and wishy-washy, and that you oftentimes will manipulate people into trusting you, and then you take advantage of them and you pressure them into believing or seeing the things that you do. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, you could have Uranus in Libra. You could have Uranus in the 7th house as well. Yeah. Like, this is wild energy here. I feel like these are the people that you're tired from. Yeah. Just a second. Let me take a drink of water. Let me come back. Okay. Let me put on some chapstick. All right. Here we go. All right. So they're saying that you have fooled everybody into not seeing the truth. Like, you have appealed to their wounds or their hurts, or maybe you're creating something that's AI, or that you're creating something that makes life easier, and they're saying that you're just appealing to their needs. Like, you're not actually giving people what is beneficial to them, and that you are only doing this because you feel like it's going to get you a leg up in your journey, and that you're very foolish, and that you cannot make a decision, and that you're constantly changing your mind. So, like, how are you ever going to get anywhere if you can't just accept the journey and do what you need to do? This is something else. This is like kind of contradictory, right? Because it's like, oh, well, you're helping everybody else, but you're just doing it because you're trying to fool them. Like, it's just a weird energy. This is a weird energy here. This is someone, I feel like this is someone who just says whatever is the first thing that pops into their mind, and they hope that it makes sense. And I feel like they leave a lot of people confused, or these are people who do that. There's a lot of people here who do that, right? Yeah, there's like, yeah, chaos, confusion, difficulty in understanding what's going on, especially with the House of God in the reverse. A lot of confusion here. But that's what they're trying to point. They're trying to pinpoint you as the confusing person, that you're somebody that's manipulative, you're somebody that's toxic, that you're somebody that has difficulty in choosing committing to oneself or something that's stable, that you have a lack of purpose and you're getting lost in foolish behavior, that you are not really accepted by society, and that you are trying to paint it like you are accepted by society. But, again, with Uranus energy here, we see this could be that you have a following online, or that you have a community around you that is separate from your haters, or that's separate from these individuals. Yeah, but they're saying that you're the one that's creating a lot of dissonance, and that they wish that they had never met you. Wow, this energy is something else. This is something else. That you're not actually motivated to create change in your life. That you're, did I just say that you trying to use somebody else's idea and make it your own? Did I say that on your pile 2? I think I did. Yeah, that's what it's like. They're trying to convince people that you're not making your own like ideas. Like you're not creating your own journey. You're trying to ride on someone else's coattails. That you're trying to, and maybe they're saying that it's their idea, that you took their idea from them. Here's the thing. I feel like these are people who've tried to mirror what you're doing and they realize they can't keep up because that's just it, right? That, when I hear that song, like an astronaut in the ocean, like there's this line in there where he's like, even if I don't get paid for progression, I'm gonna get it. And it's like, but there's a line in there too in that same verse where he's saying like, you can't keep up. You cannot match my grind. Please do not waste my time. That's what he says in that. It's Astronaut in the Ocean. That's the song. I don't know who sings it. I apologize. I do not remember the artist, but it's Astronaut in the Ocean. And there's this part in there where he's like, you cannot not match my time or my grind. Please do not waste my time. And I feel like these are people who tried to match your grind and they just ended up wasting your time. And maybe you vocalize that, or maybe you just set a boundary with them. You're like, this isn't going to work. Like, I need to keep moving because I got things to do. I got things to take care of. And that made them feel really mad. And so they're trying to act like, oh, well, pile 2 just took my ideas. Pile 2 is the ones that, you know, they're trying to make success based on what I was building. But the thing is that your courage in being consistent to your journey, yeah, it was like the perfectionism coming out. Like, why didn't I say that? It was because you're a perfectionist, and not you, but what they were saying is like, because you're a perfectionist, so why create something when you can just use someone else's ideas? Yes, I did say that on your pile. Okay, so the thing is that they're saying here, it's like, what Source is trying to point out is that I feel like people are realizing that the courage it took for you to choose this journey and stay true to this journey is palpable, and it's admirable, and it's inspiring. And you do have pure intentions, and you're putting imperfect means to good use. Like, you're not perfect. You're using what you have. You're using the knowledge that you have. You're stumbling along, doing your best to show your truth and to stand authentically in who you are. And so I do feel like there's a lot of people who recognize that. But let's see what else comes through for you. Lovebirds, passionate declarations can lead to love. Okay, so this could be an ex who's saying this. This is definitely someone who has some sort of emotional connection to you, or wants to have some sort of emotional connection to you. Okay, so we've got child wounded. It says the light attributes are awakens a compassion and desire to serve other wounded children, opens the learning path of forgiveness. In the shadows, blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, resists moving on through forgiveness. We did say that this could be siblings too, so that is also still coming through here. But again, it's like the childhood wounds, like, isn't that interesting? Blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds. I was saying that, like, they're blaming you for being toxic. We talked about that, like labeling everybody as toxic, right? Like, that's that same energy. It's like we find someone or something to blame so that we can not take accountability for what our role is in it. And then we have the liberator here, freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns, right? You're going the distance. This is the shadow attributes, imposing your own tyranny over those you claim to liberate, ignoring legitimate constraints. Yeah, so they're definitely trying to control you here. They've been trying to control you, and I just feel like they're not getting their way, and it's irritating them. Mystic, revels in intimate union with the divine, and the shadows, the delusional rapport with the divine. So this could be someone who's highly, like, religious, and you're very spiritual, and they're trying to convince everybody that you don't know what's going on. You don't know what it means to be connected with the divine. And I think that's such a weird thing. I'm reading this book. It's called The First Witches Club. It's actually really good. It's by Maisie Yates, I think is her name. It's a cute book. It was on my Amazon Prime first read, so I went ahead and got it. But there's this really funny, Soria is her name. And she's very religious, very Christian, and she ends up going to work. The whole thing is she ends up working in this mystical shop, and the lady there, Aggie, she's a tarot card reader. And when she finally went into the shop and talked to Aggie, you know, she was just like, well, you know, I don't want to turn away from my beliefs. And Aggie told her, she's like, you don't have to do this. You don't have to. She's like, you can show up as you are, and just, if it's something that intrigues you, it's worth exploring, isn't it? And she went home, and there's this part later in the book where she's thinking, she's like, everybody in my church said to me that Aggie, or people like Aggie, were going to be the ones that judged me so harshly because of my belief. And she stopped and she thought about it, and she's like, but the reality is that everybody in my church is the ones that stood out for judging people like Aggie. And so she kind of had this like realization that, like, is this the type of community that I want to be surrounded by, as the people at church? And I'm not telling you not to go to church. That's not what this is. But she was just realizing in the book that the people who she thought were her support system were not. And it's a really deep story. There's a lot that's going on, and there's so much more to it as to why she doesn't want to be with the people at church too. And it's because they don't believe her. What happened, her husband cheated on her, and the people of the church are like, but he's a good man. You need to forgive him. You need to invite him back into your life. And she didn't feel like she needed to, because he betrayed her like that, but everybody in the church was standing by his side. And because she stopped going to church, they're like, well, you're the one that's being a troublemaker now because you stopped going to church. And so the judgments in this book is just really interesting, because that's what it feels like here, is like somebody's judging you in that sense. Like, they believe that they're oh so righteous because they go to church every week, or they spend time reading the Bible every week. And like, how could you know what a connection is with the divine when you don't do any of the things that I do? But I feel like the thing is that there's also a fear that's coming in here. Why they're saying this about you is because what they're most fearful of is that you actually do have a relationship with the divine energy, and with source, and with spirit, and with your higher self, and in a way that they've never experienced. And that scares the living daylights out of them. I feel like this is bully. Yeah, I knew it was bully. I kept feeling that. So instead of just accepting it and then asking you questions, like, they're just being a bully right now, and they're using that to their advantage to bully either you, or just bully others into believing that they're the ones that are righteous, that they're the ones that are holy. What did Will Smith call them? Holy rollers. I think he even has a song called Holy Rollers, like, where he talks about. And again, I'm not trying to be cruel or anything like that, but he talks about Bible thumpers. And, you know, it's like, I grew up a staunch Christian, and so that's why it resonates with me, I think. And going spiritual was the most freeing experience that I ever had, because I was able to explore what it meant to be connected with the Creator and not be told what I had to do to connect, because I never had that connection when I was being told what to do. And that energy with the mystic, I feel like that's something you might also resonate with, or some kind of situation that unfolded like that. So we have honesty. Yeah, I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. So that's the other thing. I feel like you hit people with very honest energy, and they're feeling that. And that's why they're trying to tell people that you're lying, that you're being foolish, or that you're trying to fool others, because they don't want people to see your honesty. They don't want people to follow you, because that makes them feel like they did something wrong. Humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. Like, you're always laughing and smiling, and you have a light heart about you, and that makes them feel like you are trying to hide something bigger here. Yeah, communication is key. New moon in Gemini. So a lot of gossip about you. And I feel like for you, this person or these people, they want the gossip to elicit some sort of reaction. And every time you have responded in kind, and that response has left them utterly speechless, because they can't come back. And that's why they're trying to focus on this. Oh, they're not honest. They're lying about things. You know, they're trying to confuse people. They're trying to, you know, control people. They're trying to lie to people, whatever the situation is. Show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. Yeah, Aquarius energy is very rampant in this reading today. It's come out so far in every cards I've drawn, all the cards I've drawn, there's been Aquarius energy. So the thing is that what they're seeing is they're seeing your authentic self. But what they're saying is that you're being a walking lie. Because it's really irritating their internal demons right now. Like, you're giving them reason to face themselves, and they don't want to. They don't want to face themselves at all. They like feeling like they're right. They like feeling like they're the ones that have it all together. And the more that you heal and grow and glow up, the more that they're realizing that they don't know anything about this journey and they don't have anything together. We have cooperation here, acceptance, listening, teamwork, win-win. Yeah, there's a lot of people who are cooperating with you. There's a lot of people who are listening to you. There's a lot of people who want to work with you. And that's why I feel like this person or these people are attacking you or trying to say that you're a big liar, because the more that people, like, something about your network, how you're able to network with people, the community that you're building around you. It's like, if they can tarnish your name by the physical community that's around you, then maybe that'll get back to the digital or the community that you go to every day or whatever it is that's away from this energy, right? Letter, notes, text message, and invitation. Yeah, so I also feel like this person is taking notes on you, or they're trying to get people to take notes on you. I also feel like they're talking to people about you through text message as well. Like, they're getting information from you, or they're trying to get something from you when they're face to face with you, and then right away they use that to, hey, guess what I learned about pile 2 today? Oh my gosh, did you hear about pile 2? Like, these are some bad gossipers. Bad. Like, they're, okay. Yeah, and that's another thing from that book. Like, if you're interested in it, it's a really good book, but there's another part in that book where they were asking her, Nora, one of the other girls was asking her, she's like, so is you guys talking about people and then praying for them actually just code for you to gossip about people, so that it seems like you're not gossiping? And Soria was like, yeah, pretty much. So that's the other thing. I feel like that's that type of energy with that coming through, is that they're trying to act like they're not gossiping. Like, they're trying to discuss this with somebody, and they're using it. They're like trying to feign innocence here. That's the energy. Yeah, empty, clean, purify, empty, and practice. This goes back to what I was feeling earlier. It's like you kind of need to take a break from people so that you can purify your energy. There's a lot of exhaustion that's coming through for you. And I feel like that's because this person or these people are constantly, like, bombarding your energy. And it's, you're fighting them off. You're definitely got a lot of spiritual help as well. But I just feel like there's times where you do need to recharge, and know that you don't need to feel guilty for taking those moments to recharge. And even if that means setting some pretty solid boundaries with anybody that's in your life like this, that's a-okay. Okay, pile 2. Yeah, Swan, we have a tranquil spirit, comes with accepting inner dichotomy. So you're embracing both the light and the shadow aspect of yourself, but they're seeing it as you only being driven by the darkness. And so, like, especially being spiritual here, that keeps coming through with the Black Swan. It's like they're saying that you're only embracing darkness. Like, you're letting darkness lead you, you're letting darkness impact your life, you're letting darkness be your truth, and so on and so forth. And what's really happening is that you're no longer rejecting the darkness that resides within you, and thus you're coming into a very integrated state, a very integrated place. And what's happening is that this person is using their beliefs that they know what's right to infer that you are not a good person. I've been saying that this whole time. This person, this could be a whole group. I mean, we're talking about haters, but it's a very strong energy coming in. This happened in pile 1 too. Totally different energy, but it happened where it was just like one really strong person coming in. So there could be like a leader of the pack. I just heard that come in so loud right now. So this could be a leader of someone who people are just following because it's what they've always done. Like, oh, this person just kind of takes control of the conversation. This person takes control of the group that we have or whatever here. And then people are just kind of following along with it. Not that they necessarily believe that, but it's like they're listening and it's like, well, we're already here. We might as well listen. So these are definitely followers that are listening to this person. They don't want to think for themselves, okay? So let's take a look at your card. I'm going to read this from the book. Yes. So the 7th house here is profound relationships, intimacy, and romantic partnerships. So this could be an ex. I don't think, did I say that on your pile? I might not have. I think this, oh yeah, because you got lovebirds. Yeah. Yeah, so this is somebody that could be an ex. This is somebody that had an intimate relationship with you, or this is somebody who wants to have an intimate relationship with you, and maybe you said no to them, or you turned them down and rejected them, and that's why they're coming back with all of this. But it is somebody that's very close to you with the 7th house here, okay? So this could be business partnerships, family, children, siblings, parents, this could be a partnership in your life, romance, the 7th house, house 5, house 7. Okay, so it says ruled by Venus. This house holds your intimate relationships. These are the people you attract by way of friendship, romance, and even business. If looked at from the perspective of a lifespan, it's falling in love and marriage, but more figuratively, it's your partnerships of all kinds and the condition of your relationships. These are, of course, direct reflections of your own self-image and why this realm echoes the energies of House 1, relationships where you explore self through the mirror of another. This space is the natural home of considerate Libra, which uses its discernments and connections to give itself shape. Here lie the people you are drawn to, but also the things that you may suppress and try to live out through a partner. Also, the 7th house can talk about shadow work. Okay, so that is something else that's coming through here, which also is in congruence with the swan energy that we were getting. It says troublesome relationships are also depicted here, known as enemies or opponents who push your buttons. Yeah, definitely trying to push your buttons. The underlying creed of this house is that all relationships challenging are harmonious. Reveal that which is bountiful or lacking within yourself. And these areas of ease, bounty, block, or potential are written in the energies of this space. So we have profound relationships, intimate partnerships, marriage, and known opponents, and the experiences here are exploring the self through the mirror of another and giving and receiving love. The people around you are your mirrors. What do you see? Are they themselves healthy and living with integrity? Do they treat you with kindness and respect? This isn't about criticizing others. It's about assessing the exchanges between you and others. Are you participating in any dynamics where your integrity is compromised or where your energetic output is not being matched? If so, can you disengage? Some relationships endure the test of time and others come and go, but all can be teachers on your journey to knowing the depth of your worth. Yeah, so I do feel like these energies that are around you right now that are your haters, it's people that you've had to let go of, people that you've had to cut out of your life, or even people that you just are trying to lessen the amount of time that you have with them because of seeing how they're not healthy or they're not equal give and take relationships. And I feel like this has been really hard for you, pile 2, but at the same time, it's like you are growing, and remember that you are being seen for your honesty. You're being seen for your creations. You're being seen for the amount of work that that's being put in. And I do feel like this person is being brought to light. Like, I feel like people are seeing the fact that this person just likes to complain about you, or these people like to complain about you. They like to say things about you that aren't true. And so I do feel like that is coming to light here. Well, excuse me. Okay. I need to go recharge after your reading, pile 2. Please do the same. This is what I see here for you today. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little swan emoji down below and say, today I choose to take a moment of rest, to reconnect, recharge, and remember that my journey is bringing me ever closer to my aligned true self. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. I would like to take a moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this message today. And until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this Venus dice, or perhaps you felt called to this beautiful piece of blue appetite, I have something to say about this right now. That's funny. Okay, or if you felt called to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on what are your haters saying about you right now. We're all here sharing this human experience together. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you're someone that is here for the first time, thanks for joining us. I do things differently here on this channel. So there might be triggering statements that do arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, while keeping in mind that triggers can be a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journey. If the messages do happen to resonate, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And please know that your time, your energy, and your presence are a true gift and a blessing, and I'm deeply honored to be here sharing it with you today. Okay. So I did get a channel message for you before I started. I actually had to take a break. I had to go. I had to eat something. And I drink these little, I don't know if you guys know what they are, these little Ollipops. They're these right here. I drink one every once in a while because I don't drink soda because I don't like the way it burns my throat. But these are like all natural sodas or whatever. So I like them. They're good. Anyways. But it's funny because when I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about, because the appetite is actually good for controlling your appetite, and it's really good for like if you overeat or if you stress out and you don't have any hunger or anything like that. Appetite can actually help with that. Like I didn't know what it was, and I don't know if you've heard the story about this one or not. If you've been with me for any amount of time, you know there's 2 gemstones that I have in my collection that I call my fairy gemstones because they were left next to my front door. One day after a rainstorm had happened, they just appeared outside, and there was nobody around. There was me and one other RV in the park that day, and the other person that was there, they were gone because they were visiting family or whatever. Anyways, there was just nobody around. And so they showed up on my doorstep one day. And so I had to look up what that was because I didn't know. But the other piece was a piece of rose quartz, raw rose quartz. It looks very similar to this rose quartz here. It's just a little piece. And they were right next to each other. And blue apatite actually helps with your digestion, and it helps connect you with your throat chakra, but it also helps you be really honest about what it is that you're putting in your body. Sometimes not just with food, but, you know, like with all aspects of life. So what you're consuming. And so, you know, thinking about the Olipop, like maybe you guys drink a lot of soda, and maybe you need to just find a healthier alternative, or maybe just cut back. But I feel like this is also because the channel message that came through is that you've been betrayed. And that betrayal actually led to maybe overeating, or it led you to eating junk food or eating things that weren't healthy. Like maybe you were really healthy for a long time, and then you got really deeply betrayed by someone or a group of people. And that led you to becoming super unhealthy with what you were consuming. And it doesn't necessarily have to be food either. This could be maybe content. Like maybe all of a sudden you started consuming a lot of gore, a lot of horror, a lot of negative stuff, a lot of news or something like that, something that you didn't normally consume. But it's almost as if there's this message that's coming in where it's saying like, be mindful of what you're consuming, what you're watching, what you're eating, what you're drinking, like all these things. Be mindful of what you're consuming. And if you guys don't know, like I usually just drink water and tea, like those are, but every once in a while I like to have one of these Ollipops. I really like them. But this is my water bottle. I don't even know if I can show you. This is the second one that I've had today. I've used this water bottle so much that everything is rubbing off on it. It's a 36-ounce water bottle. So I try to drink a gallon of water every day. And I feel like for you guys, you need to bring more water into your life. There's this essence for me to show this. There's this essence of purification coming in is what I'm getting. Like, and purification doesn't necessarily have to come from drinking water either, but it can. That's a really great way to start purifying your body. But also purification can come from like taking a meditation shower or taking a bubble bath or something along those lines where you get in water. Or if you have like a creek or lake nearby, like maybe getting in the creek or the lake, like that's a good way to start purifying your body and releasing the energy of whatever this betrayal is that's coming through. So I feel like whoever betrayed you, that's maybe who we're going to be focusing on today, because there's a really strong message. But let's see what comes through. So what are your haters saying about you right now, pile 3? What are your haters saying about you right now, pile number 3? Yeah, pile 2 was a really heavy pile, so I had to go take a break. But it's just interesting because I started doing all these things I don't normally do, and getting prepared for your pile. So I feel like that's something that's coming through really strongly for you. So we have the 8th house. Yeah, okay. So we have Gemini energy and we have the North Node. Okay, so what they're saying about you right now is that you are doing what you were meant to be doing, but I do feel like they are gossiping to people about it, like that you went about it. Honestly, with the 8th house here, that there's jealousy that's coming through. There is also like greed that's coming through, but also I feel like they're saying that you performed black magic in order to receive what it is that you're getting now. Like you are a witch or a warlock and you're not a light witch or a warlock. Like you are doing dark things. Like you're trying to use others' energies in order to catapult yourself ahead. And there's just a lot of feeling like, excuse me, that you are, you know, like when you're struggling, you use others suffering as a means to get ahead. Like you use other people's energy as a means of moving forward. Like you're very cunning and you're very inconsistent, but you're superficial and mischievous. And this could have to be like, this could be dealing with siblings as well, like sibling energy coming through here. But a lot of energy around like transformation here, like you're getting your money from nefarious means, or that you got a loan, or you recently bought a house and they're saying like you didn't deserve that, that you are getting corrupt money. That's what's coming through, corrupt money. There could have also been an inheritance that you recently got, like especially if this is siblings talking, like you could have been the one that got the inheritance and they didn't get a part of that, and they feel like that's a really unfair. But they do feel like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. They're just not kind about how they're approaching it. They're not kind about how they're telling people about it. Or this is the betrayal, could have been that someone stole your inheritance and they're saying like, oh no, you know, they're the ones who got that, they're the ones who benefited from that, and so they're telling a big fat lie about it. All right, let's see. We're going to be using the Tarot Marseille today. Yeah, they're saying that you... Oh, look at this. I picked it up. I'm just going to show you because I just shuffled, but we've got the Hangman here and we've got the 8th house. Okay, so you could have Pisces in the 8th house. This could be someone who has Pisces in the 8th house, or Pisces placements, just very prevalent here. But the 8 of Cups is a family card. So again, siblings, somebody that you're related to. And the Hangman here giving this energy where they feel like you are not seeing things clearly, like you have a slanted perspective on how to receive or earn money. And that's what they're saying, like you need to be approved of by other people. Like that's the only way that you feel like you're winning in life, is when other people are congratulating you, or when you have stories to brag about. There we go. That's what's coming through. Wow. But I feel like this person betrayed you. Like I feel like they had a very significant role in your life. And they felt like they were always safe when it came to you. Not safe in the sense of like true safety. Like safe in the sense of I can treat pile 3 however I want and I'll always get away with it. Because they'll always be ignorant to how I am. Ugh. So this could be a Pisces. This could be, you have a lot of Pisces placements. You could have Pisces in the 8th house. And you could have Neptune and Pisces in the 8th house coming in. All right, let's get one more. They said one more, and we're going to see what's coming out. Yeah. Dancing with the devil. Okay. So, oh my gosh, this person. There's a similar energy coming in where they're saying like so again, going back to that, like you dabble in the dark arts. Like that's the thing that's coming in here. And so it's like you're dancing with the devil. That's what they're saying. You're dancing with the devil. I feel like this person doesn't understand your sense of spirituality. Yeah, they don't understand your sense of spirituality. And it doesn't coincide with everything that they've ever known or grown up listening to. And so they're trying to make sense of it. But the only way that they can make sense of it is by judging it very harshly. It doesn't follow anything that they've learned. It doesn't follow anything that they've gone through. You're rocking the boat. Everybody wants a phone that makes pancakes and waffles, and nobody wants to rock the boat. Who said that? That was George Carlin. An amazing comic. Amazing. That dude, a sad story that he passed away. That dude was just really blunt, though, in the way that he delivered his comedic acts. Like, super like that. Well, he had one skit where he talked about that, where it's like everybody has these new devices and the phones, and they're just getting more and more advanced, and everybody wants they want a phone that makes waffles and shit, and nobody wants to rock the boat anymore. And that's what it feels like here. It's like they're saying like you're rocking the boat, a boat that was perfectly fine on the water. Why are you going to rock the boat? So they're saying that you've set up some emotional boundaries with them. Like you're very, very forward with them now. You're not letting them get away with what they used to. And it's weird that I feel like I feel like this is somebody that's complaining to other people that you guys know together. Like, oh, you know what, pile 3, like I used to be able to tease them. I used to be able to like pull on their ponytail. I used to be able to like, you know, hit the happy button on their hat. And, you know, it would always make us laugh, or it would always do this. And I feel like maybe it's something you never liked. I feel like you never liked those things that they did to you. And finally you just said enough. Like, I don't like that. Please don't do that. Please stop touching me. Please stop irritating me like this. Or please stop saying these things to me. Whatever it is. Like, I feel like you just said stop. Enough. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to feel this. You know, it's like, especially it's hard, you know, when you have like family members who you don't get along with, but they feel like they can just totally invade your boundaries and invade your space like that. And that's the last thing that you want, because it's just like, I just don't want to deal with that energy. Right. And that's what this feels like. And so they're telling people like, you don't let them tease you anymore. Like you've been really cruel and unkind to them. And why are you going to rock the boat? We were always having a good time before. And that's when we were all close. And that's when we understood each other. No, I don't feel like you guys were ever close. I feel like you never understood each other. I feel like that was when they were able to do what they wanted to, and they got away with it because you didn't have the capacity at the time to say no. You were unable to set boundaries because of fear, or because of worry, or because of judgments, or because of whatever it was. That there was definitely a fear here. Okay. But the thing is right now you're in this energy of closing those doors. But I feel like this person really betrayed you. This could have been a marriage. This could have been someone who cheated on you in a marriage. This could have been someone who treated you really poorly in a marriage, and then used the idea of marriage as, oh, well, you know, like you're my wife or you're my husband. Like you just have to deal with it, right? Like that type of energy here. This could, okay, this, I just want to preface this because this really feels triggering. But I have to say it because the energy just came in really strongly. This could be somebody that, like, we were getting sibling energy at the beginning here. And this could be that you had a sibling who slept with your significant other, and then they left you to be with your sibling type energy. Like, that type of betrayal feels really deep. Yeah, okay, they're telling me, yeah, there's something like that kind of deep betrayal coming in here, that it's really hard. This is really hard for you to stomach. This is really hard for you to deal with. This is really, so it's like when you're setting up these boundaries, whether they're emotional or physical, they feel very both connected physically and emotionally bound. Like, these are super, super boundary. Oh, okay, hold on just a second. I'm stumbling right now because I feel like this is a very difficult topic for you. I feel like this is a very difficult situation for you. And there's a lot of anger that's coming through. Like, my hands are shaking right now because there's just like so much anger that's coming through here. My hands are ice cold. It's like all the heat has drained from my body. And it's just like, like, and I heard that right now. Someone just said it really loud. Revenge is a dish best served cold. I just heard that so loud. And please, if that was you, please, if you feel called to, check out the collective message at the beginning of the reading. It's timestamped down below in the description box, because there was a very important message in that collective message, and that might be for you, okay? It might very well be for you, but I definitely feel like you might get something from it. But yeah, there's a lot of weird energy that's coming in here, and I just feel like, I want to punch the wall right now, because there's a lot of anger that's here. And please, pile 3, it's warranted anger. Like, it's warranted, especially betrayal of that level. Like, any betrayal, anger is warranted. Like, it's okay to feel that anger. It's okay to feel into that anger and to feel through it. That's the only way to get through it, is to feel through it and to let it be what it is while it's there. And sit with it like it's your best friend, and all you can do is put your arm around its shoulder while it's present and let it be what it is, so that you can move through it. That's all we can do with such deep emotions like that. But I keep hearing someone betrayed the sanctity of something here. This could also be, and please, please, please know, this is triggering as well. This could be someone that, like, a parent who molested a child here. Okay, this could be like either a spouse that molested one of your children, or this could be that you experienced molestation with this person and you never felt like you had the power to stand up for yourself. Okay, please understand, I know these are very triggering topics, and so again, that's why I'm right now in this reading, I feel like I have to preface it before I talk about it. So I understand if you need to step away, because it's a very, very heavy energy that's coming in here, which would make sense as to why the appetite is coming in, because this could have caused a situation where you just stopped eating. This could have caused a situation where you began to overeat, right? To eat your emotions, which is something that we do. But also, this is somebody who's very immature. This is somebody who feels like they feel like they're working on it. They feel like they're trying to build something with you. They feel like they're trying to find common ground with you. They feel like they're trying to make things, balance out here. But they're very conceited, and they're telling everyone, like, I just don't understand why pile 3 won't work with me. I don't understand why pile 3 won't meet me halfway. And I feel like because meeting them halfway is you going all the way. That's what for them means, meeting halfway. It's like you have to put in all the effort. This is somebody who is they're saying that you're... Oh, okay. Just got really, weirded out for a second. Okay. I don't know, what that was, but I just, felt it in my throat chakra, and I had to rub my throat for a second because, I just got super weirded out, and I don't know how else to explain that. It's just, all of a sudden, I just, there's no words to explain or describe what I'm going through, because this is, I can't talk, I'm stumbling over my words. So it's, there's a lot of emotion that's running through me right now. There's a lot of hurt, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of betrayal, there's a lot of sense of loss, there's a lot of grief that's going on right here. So I feel like collectively, pile 3, you are definitely going through it when it comes to people who believe this person or believe these people. This could be multiple people. They're very conceited. They believe that they are God's gift to earth, and they act like that, and they are very charming. These are incredibly charming people, and so they have definitely had times where they've turned people against you. And they have reveled in that. And yeah, this is really weird energy. Yeah, this is somebody who they're like the darkness to your light. Okay, so it's like for as light as you are, so if you identify with an earth angel, if you identify with a star seed or a light worker, whatever that is, they're the complete opposite of you, but they are very good at social cues. This is someone who's like a sociopath, who's incredibly gifted at social cues. Like when you look in their eyes, it's like their eyes are dead, or they have one. Have you ever seen people have one dead eye? Like, this is what this feels like. This person, when you look at them, they have like one dead eye. It's like, or both their eyes are very vacant. Like, it just like, who's home? There's nobody there, but they're still talking and they're still entertaining and people are still believing them. It's a weird energy here. There's a very weird energy here. Okay. Yeah, they're saying that this is just wild. There's something very sexual about this pile. Like, so this could have been somebody that wants, like, it's weird because I'm getting like molestation energy. I'm getting like sexual abuse energy. I'm getting like incest energy. Like there's a lot of weird energies here. And please, that's not going to resonate with everybody. And I understand that, but I feel like that's why I feel like so weird right now. It's just like, I just feel very uncomfortable because of that. And it's like, I'm so sorry if that's what you had to go through with this person, because it's not something that you ever deserved. And please understand, pile 3, it's not your fault what happened. This is somebody who's very checked out. It's like, this is a group of people who do their best to elicit reactions from others. Like, they're just curious. Like, if I act like this, what kind of reaction am I going to get? They're just not, they don't even care about how other people feel. They don't even care about what other people are going through, even you. And I feel like that's really hard to hear too, because I feel like the thing is that they're saying, right, oh yeah, well, pile 3, they're doing exactly what they should be. Like, this is exactly what they need to be doing. Like, they're doing a good job about that, but they're superficial. Like, they're you know, in this really weird, it's just a really weird, okay. I can't say it enough because it's just a weird energy. It's just weird. I feel it in my arms. I feel it in my neck. I feel it in my throat. Really, my throat chakra, like my throat. Let me take a drink of water. Okay, just spilled water all down my front. Yeah. Okay, on the bottom here. Flourish through maintaining tradition. Okay. So this person, they're like, well, we don't have any traditions anymore. Like, pile 3 ruined our traditions. We used to meet up like for Christmas or for holidays or for birthdays. We used to grill out on, you know, on certain days or whatever. And now pile 3 doesn't show up anymore. And so they're the ones that ruin the traditions, which makes sense too with the Pope in the reverse as well. Because they're just saying, they're like trying to make it seem like you're the problem here. But I just feel like the thing is that they're just trying to elicit a reaction from people. And whatever reaction gets them the most or the highest, like, empathy or shock value, like there's shock value here, that's the one that they run with until it basically runs dry. And then they start all over again, and they're just testing the waters. This is somebody who's definitely spreading lies about you. They are slandering you. They are, I mean, it's not even, like, this isn't even, like, gossip. This is just, like, they're just making up things to see what's going to elicit a reaction. Not a response, a reaction from people. That's what they're doing. Oh, my gosh. Gossip. Did I say it's not, like, gossip? Because the thing is, here's the thing. Like, they're not actually getting any information from you. So they're making things up, which I guess is gossip in and of itself. That is gossip in and of itself. But it's just weird that here I am talking about that and that the gossip card comes out. So that's the thing. It's like they are talking about you. They are saying lies about you. They are just trying to, but I feel like, I just feel like they don't know anything about you except for your name and maybe your birthday. right? Like they don't know what your favorite color is. They don't know what you like to do. They don't know what you enjoy. They don't know who you're talking. They don't know any of that. They're making up stories and they're passing it on. Thrives in the power passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences, right? But this is the thing. They're thriving in the power of catching somebody's ear to see what the reaction is. That's what they're doing. That's the energy that's coming in. That's why this is so weird. It's like making me sick to my stomach. I don't like this energy. I'm so sorry that this is the type of person that you've had to deal with. Okay, we've got pride. Yeah, this is somebody who's very, very egoic. Like they're just in their ego. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. Yeah, they're very much in their ego. And they're also playing the victim here. Like they really are trying to play the victim. They're trying to get sympathy and empathy from everybody. I don't like this. Doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. Yeah. They're just trying to elicit doubt in people. Like, so people question who you are, question what you're doing. And so there might have been times along your journey, if you've had to meet people that this person talks to, like they might have said things like, oh, you're nothing like what we've heard about you. Or, you know, like, oh, well, we heard this, and this about you. And you're like, what? That's not true. I've never even done that in my life. Like, where did you hear that from? And then people are like, oh, so yeah, about that. Maybe we just heard wrong. Like, I feel like this individual has a lot of clout in the community. Like, it's just weird. This could be like a pastor. This could be someone who it just has, they have a lot of influence around them, the people around them. Ugh. Okay. What do you need to release? Waning moon. Yeah. So there's definitely need to release this person. I feel like just to distance yourself from them, whether that's cutting them out or just pulling back your energy, whatever it is that feels right to you, do that, right? I'm not here to tell you what is right because everybody's going to be in a different place. But I do feel like with waning moon, what do you need to release? It's just asking your higher self, like, what intuitively do I feel called to release here? And then doing that. And then the North Node, again, step out of your comfort zone. Yeah, so I feel like this is more about Source reminding you, like, keep going towards what you're passionate about and stepping out of your comfort zone, because there's a period in your life where dealing with people like this person or these people is something that you had grown accustomed to, and now you're learning how to invite in different type of people. And so the other thing is that's coming in here, pile 3, is like if you're dating, if you're trying to date people, you might start seeing people pop up that are like, this could be multiple people, right? But you could see people pop up that's like one person that's an embodiment of all these people, like someone who acts like your ex, or who looks like your parent, or who has characteristics of your sibling, or who says things like this, that this person in your life, the pastor that you had growing up, said that, right? Like, so you might start seeing like individual people who are embodiments of all those betrayals that you've gone through in your life. And that might be wild to witness, but they're saying the reason for this is because, like, especially if you're dating or if you're connecting with people trying to network, like, they're coming up in this way so that you are being shown clearly that these are not people who are resonant with you. Like, they're embodiments of all the different people that you've gone through, and you're not going to get along with them. And so that's why this feels so weird too. Yeah, surrender to the divine. Trust in the process now. Full moon. Like, things are coming to a completion here for you. Yeah, you're at the end of this weird journey. This is so hard. I'm so sorry you had to go through this, pile number 3. You did not deserve this. Whatever the circumstances were, even if it's not what I was talking about, the triggers earlier, it's just, there's something here that feels very unsavory. That's the word. Yeah. Okay. So we have gratitude that flipped over. Appreciate, thank you, and cherish. So cherish what the good things that you do have in life. Okay, we have secrets, codes, treasure, bribes, and disguise. So there's a lot of secrets that are going around about you, but secrets that, like, aren't even true. Like, there's a lot of lies that are happening right now around you. So on the bottom, we have follow. Yeah, so sources is saying keep looking towards your North Star here. Follow the North Star. Look at these energies. Very similar, right? Picking out the North Star here. follow that passion, follow what matters to you, because I feel like it's just reminding you to draw away. And you know, I always talk about these readings, you know, like I know some people are like, well, but they're not the question that you asked. And it's like, that's what tarot is. Like, we'll ask a question. You could be very specific about your approach to a question, but if that's not what Source wants to talk about with you, Source is not going to talk about that with you. So that's why I feel like this reading went in the direction that it went in, because there's just like right from the beginning, there was this sense of betrayal that came in. There's a sense of hurt that came in. And it's like Source wants to address that. It's like there's a lot that's happening. There's a lot that's unfolding with this situation. And whoever it is that betrayed you, or even the group of people that betrayed you, like they're trying to paint you as the bad guy. And I feel like the thing is that something's about to happen. Oh, and I got that at the beginning too with the pick-a pile. There's something here that's about to happen where you're going to be stepping up into the limelight or into a very well recognized place. And all of those things that they've said about you are going to come to light. There's also an energy here that came through in the beginning where, that's why I said this is really weird. So they could be, my glasses fell off my face. They could be talking about how, oh, I supported you, pile 3, from the beginning. I was the one that was always there for you. You only succeeded because I had your back, this, that, and the other. When you do step up into this position of success, they're going to be the first ones that come through and say that. Okay, they're going to be the ones that run forward and be like, oh, I had your back the whole time. Like, you remember me? I was always cheering you on and this, that, and the other. But the truth is that they've been sharing some really, really crazy lies about you this whole time. So, yeah, bearded vulture. Let outward deeds and words match inner feelings. Yeah, so keep being you, because people are going to see through this facade from these people, for sure. Guide represents the nature of the divine in life and yourself. So, and with that, surrender to the divine. So Source is saying, like, I got your back here. Okay, like, I'm not gonna forsake you. Like, Source really has a clear message for you, pile 3. I'm not gonna forsake you. You went through some trauma. You went through some ridiculous situations in your life that you did not deserve, and I'm promising that I'm guiding you out of those into something that is much more aligned and much more at peace and much more free. The shadow is here, places financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. Yeah, so I do feel like Source is just reminding you, like, you are on the right path. Yeah, destroyer. Releasing what is potentially destructive and preparing for new life. This is the end of a cycle for you. But with this volcano, we said that, like, the anger I was feeling in this reading is palpable. Like, it's so thick you could cut it with a steak knife. It is just so thick, the anger here. And I feel like Source wants to talk to you, pile 3, about the anger and remind you that it's okay. It's okay that you're angry. Like, if people are telling you, no, you should never feel angry, like, whoa, hold on. Anger is a normal emotion. That is something that we feel as humans. It's normal to feel anger. It's not weird. Okay, it's not weird. You're not alone. You're not, like, something wrong with you. No, none of that. But there's something here that's coming to a head. It's about to explode. Okay, and that explosion can either free you or it can destroy you. And I feel like the way to free yourself is to express that anger in a creative way. Or whether that is writing, painting, you know, using that as fuel to get things done that you feel like you couldn't get done before, working out like crazy, whatever it is, or going out and having some scream therapy, talking to a therapist, or, you know, talking with somebody who you trust about your story and what you went through. Like, sometimes just telling somebody can help you ease that anger. But there's a need to get that anger off your chest, because it is boiling up, and it continues to boil up the more that this person treats you in this way. And again, this whole reading, I kept saying this person because it's been very clear, very strong energy coming in, but it could be multiple people. Okay, so just take that as it resonates. But we do have the shadows, intoxication with destructive powers, destroying others' dreams or potential. And that's exactly what this person's trying to do. They're trying to destroy your dreams. They're trying to destroy your potential. They enjoy watching you get pushed to your edge and seeing what happens. So again, they only are looking for reactions. This is someone who's very disconnected from empathy. They just don't care. Like, if you're hurt or suffering, they don't care. But if they're hurt and suffering, they want everyone to stop what they're doing and support them. And this is someone who uses their own, like what they're suffering with, they use that as a means to elicit responses from people, reactions from people. So it's like if they went through the loss of a life of somebody, like they lost a family member, they lost a friend or something like that. If this person can have friends, you know, like it's just kind of, they never let anybody that close. So what they would have considered a friend or told everybody, oh, that's my friend. And they, again, they ride those stories until they've gotten old and worn out. And then as soon as that gets old and worn out, they're already thinking about the next story. Oh, what's the next story that I can use to elicit a reaction from somebody? So that's why they're waiting and they're hoping that you're going to blow, because that's fuel for them to attack you spiritually, emotionally, mentally, maybe even physically. I mean, there's this energy, but they are telling blatant lies about you. Yeah. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So this is a direct message from source. Run. Escape. Like the things that are standing out here, escape. This person is chasing after you because they want to destroy you. They want to bring you down. And it's interesting because vulture energy is nothing is wasted. Like you've learned a lot of self-empowerment from this situation. Self-empowerment that you shouldn't have had to learn, but is useful nonetheless, right? Like, it's like, yeah, you shouldn't have had to go through this situation to learn this, but I mean, you're going to be able to face anybody and everything, because I don't feel like you're ever going to meet somebody like this again in your life. And if you do, like, it's going to, right away, you're going to see the red flag. But I mean, look at this little gerbil here in this car. Like, this is a gerbil or a hamster. I guess it's a hamster. I don't know. Run, though. Run. Run as fast as you can. Run as far as you can. And that's why I said, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys what you have to do or what you should do. That's not my job. My job is to give you the messages so that you can reconnect with your intuition and trust the guidance that you're receiving too. These should always just be a confirmation. All readings you watch should be a confirmation. And when it says run here, what source is saying is just tap into your guidance system and trust the messages that you're receiving. That's going to help you put some distance between you and this person. And one of the main things that's going to help put distance between you and this person or these people is continuing to focus on what feels right for you, the North Node energy. Okay. But you have definitely been raised in a situation or an environment where you tolerated people like this in your life. And I feel like there's not been a person in your life who you felt didn't betray you in some way, shape, or form. And you don't know what it is to have somebody who actually supports you and is in your corner. And that's why I feel like your connection with the divine is much deeper because of that. Okay. So different than what you would expect with this type of reading, but a necessary message for someone if you've chosen pile 3. Okay. So let's take a look at this card. I'm going to read this from the book. We're going to see what it says. Yeah, house 12. Look at this. Spiritual transcendence, karma, sacrificial service, and healing. And you're no longer making yourself the martyr. I just heard that so loud as I'm hiccuping. Oh my gosh. Okay. So house 12. House 12 holds all the energies of all the houses that came before it. But like the setting sun, they sink into the sea. It's where the defined shapes of the day become shapeless forms, energies in the night. Walls fall between physical and spiritual, self and other, making it a natural home for empathic Pisces. This is a space of paradox, of endings and beginnings, where the journeying soul merges into the ethers from which it came, from which it will rise again. If looked at from the perspective of a lifespan, it's the end of a physical life, but more figuratively, it's where you experience the loss of separateness and how you can explore yearning for wholeness. For some, this may be through artistic expression, for others through sacrificial service. House 12 holds beautiful wonders, like your imagination alongside things you struggle to make sense of. It reveals where you feel lost and fall prey to illusion or addiction. These karmic waters have traveled with you for many lifetimes, and like its ruling planet Neptune, this space is a realm of spiritual lessons and self-undoing. These energies arise from your subconscious to find peace and closure in this lifetime. Yeah, so there's a lot of closure here, and a lot of closure from things that had been acceptable maybe while you were growing up because you didn't know better, but now you know better for yourself and you're choosing different. So as the energetics, the subconscious, imagination, spirituality, karma, sacrificial service, escapism, illusion, and addiction. Your experiences are transcendence, oneness, healing, and closure. So the end of a cycle. Move away from sweeping statements like, I'm happy, I'm depressed, I am a success, I am a failure, he is good, he is bad. This is my life forever. Can you embrace yourself and the nature of all living things as multidimensional? You're free to take a completely different shape today than yesterday, and in this moment, you can be many things at once. Names and labels are useful but limiting. Identify with your soul more than your emotions, and your sense of self more than your identity. And it's interesting because we kept talking about anger. Like, anger is just the biggest one here. So maybe there's an identification with your anger, like, I am my anger, right? Like that would be identifying with your anger. Or another identification with your anger would be letting your anger allow you to project. So we did talk about at the beginning in the collective message about an eye for an eye. It also came out in one of the other readings. So you might be here from another pile. And if you are, you can always leave a purple heart down below. That just makes you a part of my Purple Heart Club if you watched all 3 readings with me, or just say that I made it. I appreciate anybody who's stuck out any of these readings with me, especially you, Pile 3, because I know this is not an easy reading. But we were talking about that eye for an eye energy, and so I feel like maybe there's been times when you've lost yourself to your anger, and what Source is trying to help you to do is to quell the anger and come back to a state of peace and calm. But also sometimes just reminding ourselves that anger is a necessary emotion on this journey because it's a part of being human. And so if you're trying to deny yourself, like, oh no, anger is a negative emotion, I don't ever want to feel anger, like I'm going to do whatever I can not to feel anger, like just know that you're also equally creating a scenario where you don't feel happiness or peace. And that's when we start to numb ourselves. And so what Source wants you to do is to find a way to express that anger in a safe way. And that can also be with your connection with Source. Like Source will help you express that in a safe way. Okay. And you'll find what works for you if you ask, right? Open up your heart to receiving the answer that's going to be best in alignment with you. So here's a big, big, big energetic hug. Pile 3, I'm so sorry you've had to experience this very awful, indifferent energy. Like nobody deserves to be looked at as an object for reactions in life. That's not what you are. You're a human with feelings and emotions, and you are multifaceted, unique, interesting, and amazing. And you deserve to be observed as you are in this moment and loved as you are in this moment. And that's exactly what you're worthy of, okay? So this is what I see here for you today. If you felt like this was your reading, I believe there's a volcano emoji. Leave the little volcano emoji down below and say, my anger is safe to express, to feel into, and to release, to let go. I am not my anger. My anger is not me. It is just something I'm experiencing in this moment. And if it resonated with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you will find everything you need in the description box. I would like to take a moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angels, Source, my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very difficult but necessary message today. And until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.